Well, whatever time of day or night it is with you, welcome along to a game which is threatened, I have to tell you, by a rather forbidding weather forecast. The expectation is for quite heavy rain as the game grows older this evening. It hasn't arrived just yet, but it will do shortly. Glad to report, though, that that hasn't affected the crowd, who are here in good number and indeed in good voice. And the game will be underway very soon. One glance and you know where we are. It is one of the most recognisable arenas for the beautiful game in the world. And boy, does it add to the occasion. Kortrijk are a team that is struggling right now. They have been on a serious losing streak coming up to this.
That is true, and there's an obvious lack of confidence, which can develop into outright fear when morale and spirit is affected to this extent, Peter. Escaping this type of downturn can be helped by the first goal, obviously, and they desperately need it on this occasion.
So it's away we go then. And it's Al-Sharawi. Al-Sharawi, timely intervention. Gets good distance on it. Did well to step in there, that was more than necessary. Breaks on here. A chance! Corner. And it's been taken short. Whipped in. Gerson. Looks to thread it through, and he's cut it out. Hoists it forward. Some good work on the right flank. Now, what's next? Yeah, that does look a foul. Referee's given a free kick. It's not taken him long, and that's going to be a booking. Al-Sharawi looking for space out wide. There are a few waiting for it. Belts it on the volley. Oh, that is rather wayward.
All he'll be thinking is, please, ground, swallow me up.
Kortrijk have come to the defence of their manager after he came in for some stick regarding some of his decision-making.
I think it was quite fair, the criticism he received. He was blind to an obvious problem, and he was far too slow in reacting to it. He was never going to get away with that.
That intervention was very necessary. Well, they can break here. Let down by a lack of accuracy.
Kortrijk have made it clear what they're trying to do for me, Peter.
What are they trying to do?
Well, I think they're making the pitch as big as possible to work both flanks into better supply routes.
A real chance to break. He's got options out wide. Yeah, Yeah, he's offering an apology for that. He needed to deliver a better ball. Tries to switch the play. Has he found his man? Gerson. That'll be a throw-in. He's gone for it! And the follow-up! He's delivered all right! That's no fluke, it's what he was there for.
Oh, look, there's only one player who merits all the praise for that. Not only did he finish it, but his instincts for being where he was are absolutely top-notch.
So we have our breakthrough.
Still a fragile lead, though. They can't afford to sit on this.
Good challenge, he just stood firm. And it's been taken straight back. Ball swung in. Gets into a dangerous position. Gerson. And now the breakaway. And here's El Shaarawy. I think that's offside. Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's top defending and preventing him turning, which can open up many possibilities.
Forward it goes. And, oh, that's too long. Tries to get it forward quickly. Can't get the better of his opposite number. He wasn't very far from making something happen by himself. Lovely to see.
It's a baffling decision to go it alone, Peter, when the odds were stacked against him. Just had to get his head up and look right.
Kortrijk have it back and they can go again. Goes for goal! Oh, and they really should have been made to pay. Gerson. Deftly done. Oh, what a ball! Referee's had a look, and he's blown his whistle for half-time. And there we are, off they go for half-time. The breakthrough did indeed come in the first half, but there has only been that one goal. It is very, very tight.
Well, you obviously have to give credit to the front men for the half-time lead, but I think the midfield can really pat themselves on the back too. They worked tirelessly for me.
Bruges leading 1-0 at the break. So we're already into the second period. Bruges carrying a one-goal lead. El Shaarawy. Oh, it's opened up nicely for him. Going for goal. And yes, it's there! And with that goal comes comfort. He was urged to shoot, and he duly delivered.
And that's what the game is all about. Find space and finish, but we have to credit the pass to pick him out.
Time for a change in personnel. Bruges get themselves a 2-goal cushion.
Well, that second goal has given them so much more command and confidence now, and they should be able to take it on from here and either add to their lead or close it out. Surely they'll manage one or the other.
And it's played forward. Plays it out to the flank. Just brushed off the ball there. That's not going to make it. He's gone for it! He's pulled off a fine save.
Well, as test goalkeeper, the keeper has just received an A+ grade.
Massive leap! He's missed, but not by that far.
A more than decent attempt, Peter. It's always a good time to register and lay down an early marker in the second half. They clearly had exactly that in mind and have gone about their business with absolutely the right commitment.
El Shaarawy takes the long option. And he's there to clear it. Ball's over the line, and it is a corner. Away from immediate danger. He hits it! Forward it goes. And now they can launch a counter. Receives it from behind. Oh, Red, he sorted that out. And that's a throw-in. Kortrijk have turned to their bench, and we're going to have a substitution.
Well, you have to feel a little for the player being taken off here. I think he's been made the scapegoat after that, but I guess something had to be done. I suppose it did need a little change.
a shot! They are rampant! And they are cruising away. Lovely goal, perfect poise to set himself for the strike. Well, it's an inspired substitution, terrific move by the boss.
Well, the instruction from the manager would have been, go on and make yourself a nuisance and see if you can snatch a goal. Mission accomplished.
Bruges take a 3-goal lead and they are romping out of sight. Out to the right. Plays it over to the other flank. That's the throw. But there's going to be another change here. Pinged one through here. And the flag has stayed down. Crowd calling for him to shoot. Defending of the desperate variety. Managed to get it away. Good run down the left. What can they make of it? Oh, shooting chance! Tries to get it forward quickly. So not long left in this now. Bruges are this close to securing a place amongst the European elite next season. Can he find a finish now? Plenty waiting in the middle. Gerson. He's had a shot. No mistake. It is no contest. It is a landslide. Oh, high-quality goal, lovely first touch, sumptuous second. His second of the game, and an eye now for the hat-trick. Bruges tear their opponents apart once again. They are utterly ruthless. Hoists it forward. And he's there to cut it out.
Well, decisiveness has deserted them, Peter. They need precision, and it's sadly absent.
Lovely feet. Big chance! Great strength, too strong for his opponent. Whistle's gone, and they've got themselves a free kick. Some players have clearly taken issue here, and things are threatening to boil over. than clear. Added time is up, and there goes the whistle. Bruges have won big and in style. Everything went for them. Their poor opponents left chasing shadows. A scintillating performance. So, Jim, how do you reflect on what we've seen?
There's a solidity about them, almost as if they set up not to lose and see how things unfold. That eases the pressure on the strikers, who can afford to be patient, and it's all paid off.
And that's where we have to end it. From me, Peter Drury, and my co-commentator, Jim Beglin, a very good evening to you all. Hello one and all, we are glad to have you on board for what must surely be the most unmissable game of this season. It could seal the final destination of the title. Of course there are minor conditions attached, as with all of these things. 3 points are required. Sounds very easy on paper, but it could well prove to be otherwise in reality. And we have in front of us this gloriously imposing arena, absolutely picture perfect for a game of this nature. Mood is really good now. The players itching to get this going.
Yeah, Peter, definitely the team of the season, and it's their ability to navigate their way through key contests like this that affords them the confidence and nous in knowing that the substance within can be relied upon. They're far more likely to chalk another one up than choke. These lads have a great togetherness and spirit, and I expect to see it again.
There's the whistle, and here we go. Champions-elect, hoping to become the champions for real. Perhaps this is the day when the wait finally ends. And now they can launch a counter. And it's got through. Oh, that's nice. He's got the ball, he's got the space. Has a pop! And there's an early warning shot across the bow.
Well, Peter, I would say it was worth a try.
Away from immediate danger. Brought forward. What does he try from here? There's the shot! A real chance and a real let-off.
Bruges just served up a reminder of how good they can be on the break. Their method is clear.
Bruges were imperious when the two sides last met, and the fans are asking for more of the same.
Well, there's a lot of movement out wide now.
Yeah, you can certainly see that.
Well, I think it's a move to open the game up more, whether out wide or just getting a runner through the middle now.
Good challenge, he just stood firm. A real chance to break. Ricky Puig is onto it and can take it up. Gets away from his opponent. There's hurls himself at it. Oh, what a wonderful stop.
Oh, that's a sparkling save. Absolutely sparkling. His reflexes were ultra sharp.
Just wouldn't be beaten there. Diagne gets it out to the wing. Out to the right. He's there to get rid. Ricky Puig. Diagne. And the shot! Oh, poor contact, nothing on the shot.
Do I really need to tell you, Peter, that he has to do better, especially from there?
Over to the left, looking to break out here. Well read, he sorted that out. Clears it out of harm's way. Genk have come to the defence of their manager after he came in for some stick regarding some of his decision-making.
listen, there's just no hiding place, and it was refreshing to hear him admit to getting it wrong. He miscalculated, human error, we move on.
Oh, smart save. Breaks on here. Decent progress down the left. Tries to stroke it through. Tries to get it forward quickly. It's gone out for a throw-in. Well, that's not going to go down too well with his teammates. Bruges have a free kick. And the potential here for the first goal of the game. Diagne! Plays it out to the flank. No messing about, just bludgeoned away. Hoists it forward. Diagne. Oh, shooting chance! And that's been levered clear. And the shot!
Very speculative with little threat, if any, for the keeper.
The ball needed to be better there, it's a wasted chance. Well, he acknowledges that he should have come up with something better there.
Yeah, I mean, I think he did well to spot the run. He just didn't get enough behind it. It happens.
Played out to the right. Well, that had to be more accurate. Now a chance to break. He's got options out wide. Gets into some space. Going through. That's great strength on the ball. Big chance! Managed to get it away. A really close shave, and the last action of the first half. So now the team has broken through, but certainly not for the want of trying. It's been an interesting game up to now, but still goals. And we are up to the break.
Bruges ended that first half in such a strong fashion. I think we'll just have to wait and see now if they can rekindle that drive and that determination. It's been great commitment, and that has to be maintained in the second half.
An intriguing half, lacking only in goals. The score 0-0. We're promptly into the second 45 minutes.
Bruges can feel really happy with themselves. The scoreline doesn't back it up, but they've played with urgency and purpose and can't afford to lose patience in this second half. They've got to persevere.
It's a loose ball. Ricky Puig. Bruges coming off the back of a ruthless and comprehensive win. And it's been taken straight back. The ball has crossed the line, and it's a throw. Neither side really getting hold of the ball. He wasn't very far from making something happen by himself. Lovely to see. He's gone for it! And it's played forward. Plays it over to the other flank. Still nothing to reflect upon in terms of goals here. It is 0-0. Genk get it back again. Good run, ultimately thwarted by an astute piece of defending. Crowd appreciates good football all round there. Oh, nice touch. Can he deliver? Oh, what a ball! Shot at goal! Oh, fine stop from the keeper.
Well, that was high-class goalkeeping there to back up his high-class wage.
Up he gets! Danger averted for now. Bruges making another change here. Goes for the cross.
I wouldn't fancy playing up front in these circumstances, to be honest. There's absolutely no supply.
Being played forward. Oh, good interception. And here's Janssen. And the break is on. Just about up to 75 minutes. 0-0 the score, and we're just about done. A deeply frustrating game. Ricky Puig. Ricky Puig goes looking.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
Forward it goes. Ricky Puig tries to get it. Oh, it's taken out. That'll be a foul. The ref's been lenient here. I doubt he'll get too many more chances.
Genk showing a good level of intensity at this stage. They're calling on all their resources now.
Cut out in the nick of time. Going for goal! It's in! Could that be the start of something big? Jim, your thoughts?
Peter, that was just a defensive act of generosity that was always going to have a painful ending.
Big occasion, big goal, crucial lead. Oh, that's a foul in a dangerous area. He knew what was coming. That's a yellow card.
Well, what possessed him to do that, Peter, I have no idea. It's not in keeping with the quality of the performance.
Up to meet it! It's broken loose!
Genk have a simple task to find something sustained now and keep the pressure on.
And here's Janssen. Hits one!
Bruges certainly don't need to overcommit now. Their priority lies further back.
And that's a foul. Free kick's been given. So time is nearly up. One shapes to shoot! Oh, that's a terrific save from the keeper.
Well, as tests go, Peter, the keeper has just received an A+ grade.
Oh, it seems as though someone has been forced to pull up lane here.
Yeah, and the manager's concerned too. Substitution time perhaps, or maybe not, we'll see.
But it appears he's going to be okay, at least for now. But there's going to be another change here. He's been taken off, and I'm guessing this is an injury.
Yeah, I think this is for his own good in the longer term. He's picked up a knock that he can't quite shake off, and common sense has prevailed here. There's no point in aggravating the injury.
The referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. Champions at last. Finally, they get their hands on the prize. Worthy winners, glorying in their moment. So on to centre stage come the central characters, the individuals who, as a team, blended into champions, and this is their moment. Well, hello, good evening, and welcome to everybody who has joined us, regardless of where you are, or indeed what time it is with you all over the globe, as we bring you this most glamorous of clashes between two sides desperately chasing the right to contest the ultimate prize in club football. This competition has provided us with so much unforgettable drama since the first qualifiers began last summer, and I am certain there will be plenty more to come in the last few. It is semi-final day. Certainly this is a very, very impressive venue, quite a sight to behold. So just one more step for a date with destiny. Few games come bigger than this one.
Yeah, and the first leg of a semi-final, you can't guarantee passage into the final, obviously, just yet. But you can make life quite hard for yourself, Peter, second leg. So you've got to expect it to be tight and tense. This atmosphere sounds perfect for the occasion. And it's a case of releasing your best now and just finding a stronger edge, letting the opposition know what you're all about. And it's going to be tough next time round too.
There's the whistle, and here we go. Willian. Rudiger. I guess for the visitors here, the thing they have to decide is whether they are happy to take a draw and play conservatively, or go all out and try and win it.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose from a neutral perspective, the latter would prove more exciting, certainly for us. But yeah, the former certainly
shoots! That's a half-decent try.
Good effort, very good effort. He would have at least wanted to make the keeper work, though.
Marcos Alonso. Forward it goes. Jorginho. Marcos Alonso. And here's Van Persie. Payet. Raspilicueta. Rudiger.
just to point out, Peter, that the fullbacks are quite high.
And what are they trying to achieve?
Well, it's obviously a move to push the opposition wide men back and give them more to think about.
Barkley. I wonder what you've seen, Jim, over the early moments of the game.
Well, I think both teams probably feel it's too early for either to start taking real risks. So they're still very much in a phase of testing the waters and sizing each other up.
Willian. That's Piliqueta. Great strength, too strong for his opponent. That looks a foul. Yep, referee's given it. Just the talking to, I think. Yes, it is. Great leap! Oh, just couldn't turn it in.
Well, being able to generate that amount of activity in the box means it's hard not to pick someone out.
It is deadlocked. And it's Corcoran.
Well, I'm not quite sure he needed to hold up play quite as much as he did then. A couple of his teammates were very annoyed.
Raspilicueta. Payet. And here's Batshuayi! Hoists it forward. Now it's Coquelin, and he's straight offside. Azpilicueta. And here's Willian. Pulisic gets it back. Now a chance to break. Marcos Alonso. Payet did really well to intervene and dispel the growing danger. And here's Van Persie. Jorginho. And it's played forward.
Batshuayi really got caught in a trap there, and he just couldn't get out.
And here's El Shaarawy. And here's Van Persie. Willian. If you have just joined us, you'll be glad to know that you haven't missed a goal. Well, that's where he wants it. Marcos Alonso needed to come up with a better ball.
Was too timid to make it through the defence. It'll be noted and improved upon, I'm sure.
And it's Batshuayi. Battles to win it back. He spotted the run and played him through. Just the goalkeeper has a hit! Oh, surely that deserved better.
He was so quick off the mark there, read the ball beautifully. If only he could have found a half-decent finish.
Marcos Alonso. Payet tries to get it forward quickly. Azpilicueta, played in by Azpilicueta. Payet gets wrestled off the ball. And we've reached half-time. So both sides have drawn blanks. They have toiled at times, but it's not been a bad game by any means. After 45 minutes, it is still goalless. Change perhaps after half-time. And we're underway again. So deadlock still as the second half begins. Payet. Raspilicueta. Christensen. Jorginho. Pulisic. And it's Marcos Alonso. Payet. Just brushed off the ball there. Corcoran. Now it's Van Persie. Now it's El Shaarawy. Whistle's gone, that's a foul. A real opportunity here from a position of great potential. He'll fancy himself from here. Going for goal! Decent hit from there. Raspilicueta. Payet. And here's Willian. Good take, and he's had a look. Knocks it away. And it's Payet. It's Payet!
Payet usually is so good from that range. He didn't quite connect as he can though.
Nice to get it forward quickly. Pulisic. And here's Giroud. That's pretty clear, it is a foul. And the referee has shown him a yellow card. Payet! Oh, the ball's come loose. More than happy to take the muscular approach. And now the breakaway. Van Persie. It is still anyone's game, 0-0. Oh, Red, he sorted that out. Payet. Marcos Alonso. Christensen. Rudiger drives it forward.
How many interceptions have we seen now? Someone's got to up the quality and set an example.
And that is as far as they're going to go. Has a goal! And they've been caught out here. Another chance! Really well taken goal. And that is the goal we've all been yearning for.
Bruges are really pouncing on any stray passes in midfield. We're talking seconds from interception to the back of the net. It's counter-attacking heaven.
So here comes a substitution. Bruges take the lead.
Well, we certainly had to wait for it, Peter. Now a difficult decision. Is it stick or twist?
Good challenge, he just stood firm. Looking for space out wide. Gets the better of his man. Finds himself eased off the ball. Jorginho did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. Talk about singling someone out.
Look, stopping him is imperative. It may not eliminate trouble, but it'll reduce it.
And here's Kokokurin! Big relief, it just needed better contact.
It was more possible than probable, and the outcome backed it up, Peter.
Chelsea making consecutive changes here.
Well, he's worked so hard for his side, as you would expect, but you couldn't help notice that he was starting to labour a bit, so it's no surprise.
Raspilicueta. Jorginho. Hardly anything between the sides. And the score is... It's Giroud!
So close to drawing level.
Giroud nearly produced the perfect retort. That can only be a means to have another go.
Played it short. Barkley. Up to meet it! No mistake! That is a fine goal, really efficiently done.
Well, as contact goes, that was tremendous, and it helped him to direct it exactly where he wanted into that net. I think when it comes to the aerial department, this fella is definitely no slouch.
And that has added a whole new complexion to the game.
Well, I think the players will be buoyed by the fact that they've managed to level things in a hurry. Tails most definitely up now.
And it's Janssen! That's a real chance missed.
You get the feeling that whoever scores the next goal here will be the winners of this tie. They can't afford to waste chances like that there.
Rudiger. Hoists it forward. And it's played forward.
Look, this can still go either way. It might be flowing one way, but there's still time for some ebb.
Oh, he's going to be pulled back for that one. And he has shown him a yellow card. Christensen. Jorginho. And here's Giroud.
Well, both sides might have to settle for a draw here, although there's still a chance for one last fling.
Just brushed off the ball there. And here's Janssen. Ball's loose, who's getting there? 4 added minutes on the board. Payet. Played back in. Giroud. And the referee has brought play back and shown him a yellow card. Barkley. Loses his balance and loses the ball. And that's that. Bruges away with a draw, and they were well worth it. And after all of that, Jim, what are you thinking?
Listen, the more this game went on, a draw was always likely to be on the card. So overall, I don't think anyone will be complaining too much about what they've got.
Well, a very good evening to you on what is pretty close to an ideal evening for football. There is barely a cloud evident. The world and his wife have gone to great lengths to be here for a match of great consequence and massive interest in these parts. Barely a breath of wind, so the football has no excuses for not being at its very best. The teams I know are pumped for this. There are fantastic scenes in the stands. There is a great sense of drama here, a great sense of excitement and expectation. So what a stage for the players to take to here ahead of such an important game. Bruges have gone with what looks like an orthodox 4-4-2, Jim.
Well, the modern version of that is a lot more fluid and flexible than in bygone times. There's a much greater understanding of the need for players to cover forward running, and it enables risk-taking while the gaps are filled. I'm very much a fan of it. There are a lot of people who seem to have kind of ignored it and just put it to bed, but it still works, it's still valid, and I think we're going to see it be successful here.
So off we go then. Gerson. Bruges were imperious when the two sides last met, and the fans are asking for more of the same. Company knocks it away. Good clearance and very necessary. Maori. Just brushed off the ball there. Plays it out to the wing. Lobs it in gently. Well positioned to make that interception. Bruges have a very fine defensive record over recent games. He's making good use of his strength there, just refuses to be out-muscled. Can he deliver?
That's a case of crossing in hope, and unless they provide some more options, it'll be more missed than hit.
For a throw-in.
Well, the fact that we haven't had an attempt on goal is becoming an embarrassing reflection on these teams.
Swings it out wide. He slid it through. Real chance! He scored! Simplicity itself.
Yeah, and all engineered, Peter, by some smart running and movement. That's already something to admire, but how about the pass? Just wonderful. Loved it.
Bruges take the lead.
Well, just listen to the reaction. I think you can hear the approval from the support all around the stadium.
Chadley. Oh, sweet feet. Here it comes. Good take by the keeper, he's read that well. Jesson. This is promising. averted for now. Shoots! Good stop, that wasn't easy.
Well, that was high-class goalkeeping there to back up his high-class wage.
And he's there to clear it. Shot at goal! Just coming up to the 30-minute mark. Bruges are very much in charge here, dominating position. Has a goal! Back of the net! No space, no problem. You just cannot stop him.
Oh, this fella's as slippery as an eel the way he freed himself to score. I mean, for that defence, it was a case of, now you've got him, now you don't. Brilliant.
That has certainly made things interesting.
Well, what a convincing response to going behind. They've got all the momentum now.
He's got the ball glued to his feet. Who's ball? Who's going to get that? Maori finds himself back in the starting side for the first time in a while.
Extraordinary.
His radar picked up on that very quickly and he was first to react.
Chadley. He's gone for it! Oh, the ball's come loose! Foot in. Dashing forward at pace. There's a long ball. And it's the goalkeeper's to claim.
Well, they would seem to be trying to expose the centre of that defence to runners.
It makes for some terrific movement.
It does, and they may be hit on the break because obviously it requires numbers forward to stretch them out.
Referee's had a look, and he's blown his whistle for half-time. So, a very watchable game so far. Action at both ends and the team's level. It's been a really interesting game up to now, and the sides are predictably very well matched. Hoping perhaps for a little bit more from both parties in the second half, but as it stands, it's one each. The action has already resumed here.
Bruges can feel really happy with themselves. The scoreline doesn't back it up, but they've played with urgency and purpose and can't afford to lose patience in this second half. They've got to persevere.
He's got through. He's made sure that that won't get through. Chance! That has certainly tested the keeper.
Well, what can I say? Truly wonderful goalkeeping.
That's been levered clear. Jesson. Hoists it forward. Chance to break. And it's Chadley. Ball's loose. Who's getting there? Promising move that. Good inroads into enemy territory, but no joy. Can't get the better of his opposite number. Tries to dink it in. And he's there to clear it. Tries a header! Oh, not the best of headers. Anderlecht contested that thrill-a-minute draw last time. Forward it goes. Talk about singling someone out.
Well, the reaction suggests that the creative danger here is about to meet a stop sign.
No messing about, just bludgeoned away. Jesson. Clearance and very necessary. And the whistle's gone, presumably for offside. Bruges are able now to make their substitution. It's been on the cards for a few moments now. Gets it upfield. Mauri tries to get it forward quickly. Great strength, too strong for his opponent. Mauri goes looking. More than happy to take the muscular approach. Has a hit! Oh, just lacked a decent finish.
Well, Peter, I would say it was worth a try.
Well, the referee's pulled play back and has booked him for the original offence. So now we're going to get those changes we have been expecting. And it's Nasri. And the counter is on. He's got away. It's come loose. That's pretty clear. It is a foul. penetration to go with all this possession. Nasri. Decent ball.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
Gerson. And that's been repelled.
Bruges showing a good level of intensity at this stage. They're calling on all their resources now.
Oh, he's going to be pulled back for that one. Finds himself eased off the ball. Kokorin. Brings it forward. Gets wrestled off the ball.
Bruges merit full marks for their attitude and application in trying to win this. It means an awful lot of them.
Oh, that's a foul, and the whistle's gone. And that's going to be a booking. Bruges making consecutive changes here.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious as to who was going to be taken off. His energy levels began to sag, and he was never going to last until the final whistle. Well, both sides might have to settle for a draw here, although there's still a chance for one last fling.
Gerson.
You wonder if that's it now, but there may be one more opportunity, Peter, for a late steal here.
Well, what we're witnessing now just goes against the grain. They're not going to get back into the game like this.
Well, that's where he wants it. Mauri. Gerson. He's had a goal! In for the pieces! Oh, that's incredible! And that has raised the roof! He was really quick to react to the initial save, and he has his reward.
Well, as they say, Peter, if you don't speculate, you won't accumulate. And we just witnessed a player who was rewarded for his willingness to take a risk, as cunning as it comes.
And when the manager called on him, he was only too happy to repay that faith.
Well, the instruction from the manager would have been, go on and make yourself a nuisance and see if you can snatch a goal. Mission accomplished.
The changes then in quick succession.
Yeah, he's run himself into the ground, hasn't he? And it's good to...
And time is up. Bruges have held on. A knife-edge game, a single goal margin, but they have won it. So a dramatic game decided in its very last moments.
Well, this looked like it had a draw written all over it, Peter, so credit where it's due. They found a way to win it, and they can take great satisfaction from never losing that focus.
That's where we have to end it. From me, Peter Drury, and my co-commentator, Jim Beglin, a very good evening to you all. Well, a warm welcome, one and all. We're just getting settled in here ahead of kick-off in this much-anticipated semi-final second leg. We have a very expectant crowd for whom the big question is this: who will blink first? It is one game at which you sense a genuine feel of the theatrical. Could it be one of those truly memorable games? We are certainly all hoping so. This must be amongst the favoured arenas of supporters all over the world. It really does have a very special feel to it. Well, it's got to be one of them at the expense of the other. What we have so far is entirely inconclusive.
It'll be intriguing to see just how this one's going to be decided. I have no doubt, Peter, that the hosts would be happier of the two, but you could also argue that the pressure to win it is all on them, and that's clearly what the crowd are demanding here. Blanking all of that out and sticking to the task at hand will be key for them. They're in no position to attempt anything cavalier.
And that gets things running. Bruges picked up a handy draw in the away leg, and so this becomes the conclusive occasion, however long it takes. Pulisic. Jorginho. Plays it over to the other flank. Did really well to intervene and dispel the growing danger. And it's played forward.
That's just very well played. He can't hurt you with his back to goal, and he didn't go for the back heel.
And it's Willian. It's a good foot in there. Forward it goes. El Shaarawy. That's really nice. Now, what next? Goalkeeper's ball. Willian.
Just to point out, Peter, that the fullbacks are quite high.
And what do they try to achieve?
Well, it's obviously a move to push the opposition wide men back and give them more to think.
Oh, real danger here! Raspilicueta. Good challenge, stood up well against his man. And here's El Shaarawy. Loose ball, who's going to get there? And it's Giroud. And he's put a stop to that. Looks to clip it forward. Jorginho. Conte. Rudiger switches it towards the other side. Pulisic. Jorginho positions himself well and cuts it out. And it's Willian. And here's Giroud. And he's there to clear it. Kante gets it back. Marcos Alonso hits one! movement there, but not the best of finishes.
Bruges can defend those situations better by stopping the crosser at source.
El Shaarawy. Bruges still without an attempt on target. Rudiger. Chelsea have it back and they can go again. Loftus-Cheek. Marcos Alonso. Marcos Alonso drives it forward. It's ruffled a few feathers, but well dealt with. That's Van Persie. Oh, that is asking for trouble.
As Piliqueta just did a brilliant job there. It was one of those all-or-nothing commitments, and he came up trumps.
Gets into some space. Up to meet it! Good delivery, but no joy.
Well, being able to generate that amount of activity in the box means it's hard not to pick someone out.
Jorginho. Still waiting for the first goal. And it's Giroud. Well read, he sorted that out. El Shaarawy. That was good pressing, forced the error to put an end to it before things could get even more threatening. Loftus-Cheek. Great strength, too strong for his opponent. Well, the defence got the better of him this time, but I'm sure he'll go again. Gets it upfield. Giroud gets it out to the wing. And the semi-final reaches halfway. So both sides have drawn blanks and have toiled at times, but it's not been a bad game by any means.
Well, how tense has this become? Having said that, one team has the psychological edge.
And after 45 minutes, it is still goalless. A change perhaps after half-time. And we're underway again. 0-0 then, and we're back underway. Jorginho. And it's Loftus-Cheek. Out to the right. Aimed in towards the centre. And that's been levered clear. Dashing forward at pace. He's through. Gets the better of his man. It's a very good battle there. Terrific to watch. Conte. Gets away from his opponent. And that's one way of trying to make things happen. There's a few who could follow that example. There's the through ball. And they've got it back as soon as they gave it away. And here's El Shaarawy. This could fall anywhere. Goes for goal. And the ball's come out. Jorginho. It's all a little short of forward momentum, lacking thrust. And it's Loftus-Cheek. It's a loose ball. Tries to get it forward quickly. Bruges couldn't do a whole lot with it there. They could do with more sharpness in their passing. And the through ball is intercepted. And here's Van Persie. Has a hit! Loftus-Cheek. Giroud. Pulisic. Regardless of the outcome, it is good to see someone running at the defence like that. Kante does well there, alert. Oh, real chance to break. Giroud. That's pretty clear, it is a foul. He knew what was coming, that's a yellow card. And the players are making their point, but the ref clearly isn't interested. He's waved them all away.
Well, it's good stuff. This is better.
Well, hit and hope is just about the sum of it, isn't it, Jim?
Just has to be done.
Conte. Has he found his man? And here's Van Persie. Coached through there. Now it's that shapes to shoot! It's a goal! That could turn out to be a huge, huge goal! Oh, high-quality goal, lovely first touch, sumptuous second. Chelsea making another change here. Big occasion, big goal, crucial lead. Cleared away. Chelsea get it back again. Now it's Van Persie.
There's a real appetite from them to finally put this game to bed, but will they?
Van Persie. Big chance! They've done it! 2 up now, and they are cruising.
Well, you know, thinking about that, I think they perfected that on the training ground because it took them seconds to get the ball from back to front, and they really commit forward in numbers too. It was all very well drilled.
Bruges making consecutive changes here.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious as to who was going to be taken off. His energy levels began to sag, and he was never going to last until the final whistle.
Things starting to look very comfortable.
Well, they're very much the better team at the moment, Peter, and no doubt will be looking to cause even more damage here.
Defender's on the back foot. Looks to thread it through. Oh no, that's not the ball he wanted. And Percy gets it back. Rapidly approaching the end. They have 1 foot in the final. It's on a shot at goal! Oh, it looked like 3-0 for sure.
He'll be fuming with himself for not converting. He could have killed it off.
Tries to get it clear. Rudiger gets into a dangerous position. Not much subtlety, he's launched himself there. And it's Jorginho. It's come loose. Chance to goes for goal! Oh, great save, real class.
Well, you can't ask for much more than that. A difficult moment he simply had to deal with.
Chelsea are able now to make their substitution. It's been on the cards for a few moments now.
Yeah, he's run himself into the ground, hasn't he? And it's good to see that the crowd appreciate his efforts, because he has put in a real honest shift.
Decent progress down the left. Now, can he capitalise? Just the keeper and the shot! Oh, no shortage of confidence there.
Well, I just hope he won't let the failure to score affect him. With the ability he has, he can reproduce.
Marcos Alonso. And that's that. They have made it, and they've deserved to make it. A fabulous cup run has gone all the way to the final day. Your reflections then, Jim?
You know, all 4 sides left at this stage could make a good case to win it, but this team looks like they believe their name is already on it.